All right, all my Detroit Piston fans and all my Detroit fans, all my Motor City Sports Talk fans, make sure you guys go check out Piston Mike. We got him over 100 followers, so make sure you check him out. Everything Pistons, man, he gonna hold it down and do his thing, just strictly on the Pistons thing. You know, I got the Lions and Pistons, but man, we always trying to help people get their channel up. Let's get them to 200 next, 300 next, 400 next, 500 next, and let's get them all the way to a rack so you can start making that bag. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you go over to Piston Mike as you see it on the screen. Let's get them to 200, then 300, then 400, then 500, and the whole shebang. Peace. All right, let's talk about Detroit Pistons' biggest need, something they hadn't had since Jerry Stackhouse left. Most people would be like, oh, is it Killian Hayes? No, it's just simply somebody that can go get a bucket. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. It seemed like the Pistons, was immune to those guys that can go out there and get their own bucket, Jesus, can I get it? Goodness. But somebody can go out there and get their own bucket. Check Detroit Pistons Talk playlist out. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. And that's it, most teams throughout history can get that ball to somebody, get a bucket. Back in the day, they had Adrian Dantley, Vinnie Johnson, get them the ball, they can get a bucket. Jerry Stackhouse, one of those guys. For the most part, the Pistons have been immune to those guys. Could have got Carmelo Anthony, they took Darko Milicic. Carmelo could have been a guy, get him the ball, get a bucket. And, they traded Jerry Stackhouse for Rip Hamilton. He's a guy that his shots is created off coming off screens. Had Chauncey Billups. He can create his own shot, but really, he's becoming a pure point guard. Rasheed, you get him on the block, but he wasn't an alpha when it comes to offense. Being one offense, Tayshaun was a great 3-and-D guy, but, you really didn't have that guy. They had to trade this guy, but Bobby Sir was somebody. They give him a little bit of offense off the bench, but pretty much they scored by committee. But look through history, Stuckey was supposed to be one of those guys. Reggie Jackson could have been one of those guys, but they never could find that guy who can go out there and get them a bucket. Jerry Stackhouse was a guy that, had they was able to keep Jerry Stackhouse and not trade for Rip and got him to kind of, do what Dantley did, the Pistons probably would have, if Jerry would have stayed in his prime long enough, they probably would have won multiple championships. That was their biggest problem, was they didn't have a guy like Vinnie Johnson that come in the game, Manu Ginobili, Jason Terry, Gilbert Arenas that can heat up and get them a bucket. That's a problem. When you need a bucket, who you going to give it to? Grant Hill, he can get you a bucket by trade. Grant Hill was a pure point guard, point forward. Chauncey can get you a bucket, but Chauncey needed an alpha because he was playing the pure point guard position to get him a bucket, and it still holds true. Pistons been going through the trend. When did Jerry Stackhouse lead the Pistons? Let me see. See when Jerry Stackhouse left the Pistons. He's the coach of Vanderbilt right now. Shout out to him. He left Detroit in 2002, so 2 years before they won a championship. Jerry Stackhouse, could he have played realistically, could he have came off screens, caught the ball, did Rip Hamilton did? He could do that, but, Jerry Stackhouse was a problem. He was the offensive alpha that they needed, but they traded for Rip Hamilton. Had they was able to keep Jerry Stackhouse, they might have went on and won a couple more, at least one more. That was a problem. Rasheed wasn't a guy that you can give him. Rasheed got mad, he was that guy. If he was able to keep Rasheed mad and he was able, to keep that anger, Rasheed would have been the guy they needed. But ultimately, when the game came down to the line, it was all on Chauncey. And really, Chauncey had to facilitate, be the point guard. He couldn't score all the time. Jerry was the type of guy they needed. But Jerry was beat people up in the locker room, a little loud, but Jerry was the guy that they needed. Then you had a chance to get Carmelo. They passed up on Carmelo. Or Dwayne Wade was the guy. Give him the ball, clear out, go get it. Of course, you can get the ball to Rip, put him in the pick and roll, Chauncey. But by trade, they need the guy to get their own shot. And every team got that. When you look at the Lakers, LeBron. Look at the Brooklyn Nets, they got a few guys. James, Kyrie, Kevin. All those great teams. Think about the Golden State Warriors teams that dominated the years before. They got a bucket. Toronto. When they need a bucket, get a ball to Kawhi. You got a good chance of winning it. To shooting it. Kobe, Kevin Garnett, had those guys. Ray Allen. Those guys get a bucket, and ultimately and realistically, that's the Pistons' biggest need. As a guy you throw the ball to, he can get you a bucket. And that's their biggest problem. And that's why Jalen Green is probably their most coveted player. You'll settle for Mobley, but Jalen Green is a guy so here go the ball, go give me a bucket. Jalen Green could do that. That's why Jalen Green is more important. People talking about Cade Cunningham can do it. He can be the point guard next to Killian. I don't like it. I don't like two guys that look to pass first. The Pistons need somebody that can kill. You pick somebody that need to go out there that can kill. Guy that's a killer scoring threat. A guy that can go out there and almost get you 30 every night. That's what the Pistons need. Pistons need a killer scorer. An aggressive, dominant scorer, alpha male scorer. That's something that we've been lacking since Dan Lee, since Vinnie Johnson, since Jerry Stackhouse. An alpha guy's going to go out there and look to score. And ultimately, they haven't had it. They haven't had it. And that's why Jalen Green should be their most coveted player. They go out there and get somebody to score and go out there and get you a bucket. They're going to be dangerous. You know, right now they don't have that. You look at Jeremy Grant, he's doing an excellent job going to get buckets. But when the fire hit the pan, do you really want Jeremy Grant with the ball in his hand in the Eastern Conference Finals? No. Ultimately, you need somebody to go out there that's a professional scorer by trade. You know, Sadiq Bey, good shooter, he's a good scorer. But ultimately, you put Jalen Green in that deep offense. Let Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey be your secondary scorers. It's just a perfect spot for him. You know, he was saying that, had he played in college, he would be in the number one discussion. But guess what? Think about it. You got Keelan, that's a great defender. Jeremy, Sadiq Bey, great defenders. Think about that for a minute. If all he had to come in, do is look to score, and he could facilitate too. Look at his highlight tape in G League. Think about he's scoring, and Keelan making the game easy for it. When he getting the book, he looking to make other people better. Man, Jalen Green will be the perfect guy for the Pistons. Right away, he can come in and jack up shots. Right away, Keelan gonna make the game easy for him. Right away, slasher, finisher at the rim, shooter. All you gotta do is polish his game inside the offense. He ain't gotta come in and guard the best guy. Like most superstars in the league, he don't have to come in and guard the best guy. Bey, Grant, Dikembe Dubonye, or Josh Jackson, Killian Hayes, they can take the best talent on the floor. Just think about that. The Pistons' weakest spot for the last since Jerry Stackhouse left in 2002. I had a graph about Jerry Stackhouse too. It's from my storage. It is simply to go out there and score. A bucket getter. That's what they need. A bucket getter. A bucket getter. And if they can find somebody that can a professional scorer, you know what I'm saying? It's over with. And that's what they need. Jalen Green is what they need. Somebody in there that can find their own shot. Somebody can get their own shot. So let me know what you guys think about the video. Check Detroit Pistons Talk playlist out. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My social media link subscription. Reach out anytime you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. My links there. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313 in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate, share the video. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Don't forget to check my main channel out right here on YouTube, Goodfellas Sports TV. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Mercy Sports Talk. Peace.